Hello everyone, my name is Kodamore and welcome back to the LibGDX Game Dev Guide. This is your first informational episode in this series. You'll notice that the title of this video has the word info in front of the episode number. These informational episodes are completely optional. Now, we're not going to be doing any work on our game that changes our game in any way in these episodes. Instead, I'll be explaining certain topics or going more in-depth to explanations rather than putting all those long explanations in the main videos of this series. So you can pick and choose which ones of these info episodes you want to watch. So if you're completely new to LibGDX, I'm going to explain the LibGDX starting code today and the base application flow of LibGDX. If you're already familiar with LibGDX and you already know that stuff, feel free to simply skip this episode. So when we run our game, we get this image drawn to the screen, the Bad Logic Games image, and we have to figure out how that happens. The first thing that happens is the desktop launcher found in your desktop project runs. This creates a configuration object, and eventually it creates a new instance of our main game class. So this sets up the window for our game essentially, and then it jumps over to our main game class in our core project. Here, LibGDX generated this starting code for us. So let's see what's happening here. First things first, this class extends something called application adapter. This is a LibGDX class that defines the methods that we need in order for a LibGDX application to run. The first one of those methods is this create method here. This is run at the very start of your game before anything else happens. This is where you can initialize anything that you need to initialize. So here we create something called a new Sprite Batch. And a Sprite Batch is basically the tool that we use to draw images to the screen. Next, it creates an image, or a texture rather. So there's this variable called image up here, and it's a texture. A texture is, again, basically just an image or some drawable thing that can be drawn to the screen. And here, as a parameter, it passes in the file path of the image that it wants to load into this texture. So it specifies badlogic.jpg. Now this can actually be found inside of the assets folder. So if you go into your project, if you generated an Android project, it'll be in here, otherwise it'll be in your core folder. And you click the assets folder, we have that badlogic.jpg image. Now, since we set the working directory of our launch configuration when we were configuring this up here, since we set that to our assets folder, any file paths are going to be relative to that folder. So we simply have to type the name of the image that's in the assets folder there. Next, let's jump down to the dispose method. This is called at the very end of your game whenever your application closes. Now, some LibGDX objects, like Sprite Batch and textures, have to be disposed of at the end of your application. It basically cleans up any resources that they're using. This will avoid memory issues. So it basically cleans up the Sprite Batch and the texture, which means they're no longer valid to be used, but it basically cleans up their memory. And the third main method of the application adapter is this render method. This method is run many times a second. By default, it tries to run approximately 60 times every second. And this is basically the main game loop. It runs over and over and over again. Every single frame of our game, basically a frame is a single iteration of this render method, we clear the screen. So we set the color to clear the screen with. This is an RGBA value. Basically all colors are defined with a value between 0 and 1 for red, green, and blue. So we're going to clear the screen with the color red. And this next line actually does the clearing of the screen with this color that was set. Next, we want to draw that Bad Logic image. To do that, we have to use that Sprite Batch. Now you can only draw things to the screen using a Sprite Batch after you've called batch.begin. This tells the Sprite Batch that we're about to start drawing things. Once we tell it that we're going to start drawing things, we actually draw the image. So we draw our texture, which we called image up here, which is just that Bad Logic Games image. And we give it a position, an X and a Y position to draw it to. We specified 0, 0. This is a coordinate for the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Next, we have to tell the Sprite Batch that we're done drawing. This will actually perform all of the draw calls for us, and And that's it. The next time this render method runs, it'll clear the screen again, draw our image in the exact same place, and it'll keep running till your game closes down. And that's how we have this image down here in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Now it's really important that you understand the coordinate system of LibGDX. So by default here, 0, 0, just like an XY coordinate plane, is at the lower left-hand corner of the screen. So as you increase an X position, you're basically increasing toward the right of the screen in values of pixels. And the Y value increases as you go up the screen. Lower left here is 0, 0. So a negative X value would bring you to the left outside the screen. Now all these measurements are made in pixels, and a pixel is basically the smallest element of your screen, basically one little dot of color that makes up these images and the red background color. So we can actually move this image across the screen every single frame, basically by changing the X position of the image. So if we just create a temporary variable, let's say a float variable, just a decimal number, xpos, and set it equal to 0, we can actually draw our image at an X location of whatever our X position variable is. And then every single time we can increase this variable, xpos, by 1. So because this is called over and over again, our xpos variable is going to increase and our image is going to be drawn at a different X position every frame. So now if we run the game, you'll notice that the image is moving to the right across the screen because we're increasing the X position. If we were increasing the Y position, it would be going up the screen. So it's important that you're just familiar with that coordinate system that LibGDX has. I'm going to go ahead and delete this code that I changed here, delete that temporary variable, so we're back to the starting code. That's it for this informational episode. I hope that I helped some of you out, and I'll see you all in the next episode.